I just told you I didn't want to do no interviews, and you said you are going to do interviews. Now you told me to do interviews. Now you're trying to take me away from them. No. Let me show Dontaesboxingnation some love.
Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? So about a week ago, there were reports by ESPN that the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford fight was close to being a done deal. Floyd Mayweather, he came out immediately, shut that down, and said that's not true. As soon as Floyd Mayweather said that, I assumed that Floyd Mayweather wanted to be the person to announce that fight when the fight is official, because this is something that Floyd Mayweather has done his entire career. He's always wanted to be the person to make the announcement when he had a big fight. I remember before the Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao fight, it was either Manny Pacquiao or Freddie Roach, but one of them hinted that the fight was close to being a done deal or it was about to be announced, but they said Floyd Mayweather wants to be the one to announce the fight. Well, it turns out that is the exact case when it comes to the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford fight as well. Floyd Mayweather made it very clear. He just recently said in an interview at the Hall of Fame that when this fight is a done deal, you will hear it from me first. So in other words, Floyd Mayweather, he just revealed that negotiations are going very well and this fight is going down this year, and he will be the one to announce it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who announces the fight. As long as this fight gets announced and it happens this year, that's all that matters. Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence is not only the biggest fight right now, it's the biggest fight we've probably seen since Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns fought each other. When I say it's the biggest fight since, understand this because we've had a lot of big fights, but in terms of skill set, boxing IQ, and being on the biggest stage, this comes closest to Leonard Hearns. Now, once again, we've had fights like Roy Jones versus Bernard Hopkins, but that wasn't a super fight at the time. It might have been the two most skilled fighters fighting at the time, but it wasn't a super fight. Spence versus Crawford has all of the elements. But you know, when it comes to this fight being announced, recently Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, they've both been going on the internet and saying to the fans, don't believe all of these rumors that you hear when it comes to negotiations, etc., etc., etc. These people don't know what they're talking about. I didn't even know that people were making up rumors about how negotiations were going until I heard Errol Spence and Terence Crawford say, don't even listen to what these guys are saying. It's not true. When they're shutting down rumors, that is a really, really good sign that once again, things are going according to plan when it comes to negotiations. Now, I want to close out with talking about this personal beef, it seems, between Spence versus Crawford fans. Now, this is the reason why the personal beef, it makes no sense. Black American boxers have been dominating the entire sport of boxing since the inception. Every single decade, every single generation, the best fighter in the world was a Black American boxer. From Muhammad Ali to Sugar Ray Leonard to Mike Tyson to Pernell Whitaker to James Toney to Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, and now Terence Crawford. So this is my point. This fight is an all-American Team USA versus Team USA. I'm rooting for both of them. No matter who wins this fight, Team USA continues to dominate the sport of boxing. The winner of this fight will be, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world, without a doubt. No fighter can say they have a bigger win than this one right here when it comes to Spence versus Crawford for all of the belts, for undisputed. But yet I notice whenever I make a video on this fight, you'll see some fans in my comment section, they'll be talking as if this is like Bloods versus Crips, like these fans are sworn enemies. And the reason why that makes no sense to me, because when there were big fights like Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez, those fans, they loved both fighters. They really didn't care who won that fight, even though they weren't even from the same country. They didn't care who won the fight because they looked at it as neither one of these guys are black. So at least we know a black guy is not going to win this fight right here. I'm tired of seeing them win all the time. At least now we have one fight where the Black American is not going to win. Matter of fact, I remember Jim Lampley on HBO calling one of the Pacquiao versus Marquez fights. And he actually said during the fight, he said, you know, the Manny Pacquiao fans and the Marquez fans, they really love each other. He said you get the impression that they're actually rooting for both fighters. And that was the case. Now, of course, Manny Pacquiao fans, they would definitely be more passionate in favor of Manny Pacquiao. And sure, the majority of Mexican fans rooted for their countryman Juan Manuel Marquez, but at the end of the day, the most important thing was neither one of them was losing to Team USA. Neither one of them was losing to a Black American boxer. In fact, I remember Rudy Hernandez, cutman and brother of the late Gennaro Hernandez. I remember he did an interview around the time that Pacquiao and Marquez kept fighting each other instead of fighting other dangerous opponents. I remember he said, man, I'd like to see them just keep fighting for the rest of their career. Once again, he said that because he did not care who won. So the point is, it's okay if you're rooting for Errol Spence, if you're rooting for Terence Crawford, but it should not be so personal. At the end of the day, this is a win-win for Team USA. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
My name is Chris, and I'm all the way here from Anchorage, Alaska at ScalpCarolinas, and I'm here for my second treatment of SMP. Well, I was sitting at home one day and going over my Facebook page, and they have different, like advertisements popping up, and I saw one for SMP. And I saw some pictures of some guys, before and after, and I was looking at that, and it caught my attention. So I Googled it. SMP, nothing showed up in my area. So, I did a little more research, and all of a sudden, ScalpCarolinas popped up in the web browser. So I started watching his videos and seeing all the reaction from all the other people. We talked on the phone, we made appointments and everything. I sent him pictures, and he looked at them, and I was like, can you fix this? And, he pretty much said, no problem. My first session, he made me feel extremely comfortable. It was almost like I was talking to family. He started, and during the whole treatment, we talked and, about our families and our life, and, and things that he does and things that I do. And before I know it, the first session was over. When you see someone doing something that they love, as much as I see Enoch Glover love what he does, it shows in his work. I wouldn't point anyone in any other direction but here to North Carolina, ScalpCarolinas, to get this done.